Alright, short tutorial on the new Coldplay tune. This is another easy one, and if you've seen, I'm using a cool violin patch. But this can be done on the piano too as well. I would suggest something that's not a lot of reverb, like my regular patch on this keyboard has some reverb built in, just so it can project better when I'm playing live or whatnot. You can see that it just rings a lot more. And so it would sound bad. So you want something with less reverb and some snap, and I got one that's kind of like that, you can hear. It's a lot shorter. So in this case it would work. So, the first thing I'd start out with is getting your left hand situated. A big problem, it seems, with anybody who's beginning piano is the left hand. And people have a hard time watching both. Well, we usually don't watch both. Usually you're only looking at one hand, and your left is going by itself once you have the position. So, in this piece, we're going to keep our hand in this position as much as we can. Our thumb on E flat, pinky on E flat. We don't have to move very much. So it's. So my left hand stays in this position. So that makes it a lot easier. We can focus on the right hand, because I know in the piece sometimes it gets different things are going on. We have and just different stuff that you might want to do that's a little higher too. You don't want to be looking at your left hand. So first thing we should work on is figuring out the pattern for the left. And so your pointer, I would suggest, and I know some people might have smaller hands, it might be tough, they might be stretching. Maybe leave out this E flat if your hand's too small. Just go. But for those of you who want to do the octave, we'll do it this way. So it's first on D flat, then E flat, then A flat, F. So that's our pattern. So D flat, and I would suggest doing the octave, both E flats, at the same time. A flat, F, and so that's the left. And so you can practice by doing the pattern of the disc. So that's the left. The right depends on your hand size. I like to play with my thumb, my pointer, and my fourth. For starting out, I would suggest for people with smaller hands, or just I guess regular size hand, would be just 1, 3, and 5. That's always a safe position. So the first chord it starts out, we're going to have an F, A flat, D flat. All that happens here is your pinky stays where it is, and you're going to move your F and A flat up to C and B flat. So that's a simple change. And doing the rhythm. So I think that should be clear enough. Then the next switch, I would suggest your thumb, your pointer, and your pinky. And those three notes are going to be E flat, G, C. And I know there's some debate, I think, on what that chord is. I hear this G in there. Even though at that time the left is playing this, and it sounds like it's clashing, but it resolves. It's kind of cool. At the end, you'll hear how it resolves, and I think that's kind of what adds the suspension on this. So for your chord gurus out there, that's a 7th chord. But for the rest of you, you can forget that for right now. So we're going to do this. And then I suggest the 1, which is your thumb, 2 pointer, 5 on these 3. And that's this. E flat, G, C. So then you get the... Then we switch to an F minor. And all that's happening here again is your pinky's going to stay put. And you're going to come up like this. I'd suggest 1 and 3. F and A flat. So it's kind of cool. Your pinky only has to switch twice, if you notice that. Your pinky stays here for the first 2. Then it just moves down and stays put. So it just moves from here to there. So that's kind of cool. That makes it easy. So hopefully you caught on to that. If not, we can rewind. Good way to practice is just to do block chords. And you can do the left hand just blocks. That's always cool. So that's the song. This happens. This pattern goes throughout the whole thing pretty much. And there's lots of other orchestration on different tracks. And the purpose here is just for you to have some fun learning the tune. I'm not going to get into playing the melody line with your right hand. I think it's it'd be cool if you sang along or had someone sing with you, and get used to the rhythm of it. So I'll play that once. And if you're on the chord Triton, a really cool patch would be in the program's bank. Bank A083, and that's where you get that sweet violin patch. And the thing we learn in our right hand, you might want to learn in your left as well, in case you're going to do some of the orchestration that happens throughout the piece. This way is going to be different. Your thumb is going to be hanging here on D flat and then down to C, and I'd suggest your pinky in your left on F, your middle on A flat. Move it up, B flat and G, and then down to here, and your thumb just moves down one. Just kind of reverse with what your right hand did. And that might get kind of funky for someone just learning to be able to try to switch to the left hand. It might take a little practice. I would just go slow and do block chords to start out with. If you can do this easily, then you can start the rhythm. It should be that natural to you. So then you'll be able to go. I know throughout the song, if I remember right, it's going to go. Then there's a part where it goes.